All right, have not fans. Another, not a theory video, but answering a question that was raised in the finale. Did Jim have a hand in Quincy Jr. being murdered? Now, first off, I want to say yes, as he told Candace inadvertently, he had a hand in killing Quincy Jr. I'm not talking about that whole sharpshooter theory that's going around. I feel like the matter in which Jim inadvertently had Quincy Jr. killed was clearly when he got Warlock out of jail, which again made no sense to me as a whole, because his whole thing about getting Warlock out of jail, because remember, Warlock said, hey, I'm going to kill that bitch, and Jim was like, fine, kill her, but make sure you give me those photos and videos that she has for me for blackmail. And I just didn't get that, because remember that, if I'm not mistaken, Jim got out of jail, the DA visited his house, and then showed him that after pretty much, raiding Candace's house for the whole Quincy Maxwell murder, they already took the pictures and videos that Candace had in her possession of the whole war room scenario. So really, with the DA having that information, there was really no need of, Jim getting Warlock out of jail. I mean, he said he would, but I mean, he hasn't always kept his word. But I guess you could say Warlock said, hey, you know what? If you double cross me, I'm going to throw you to the wolves. And then Jim said, well, if you do that, I want to come back leading the pack. So honestly, and again, I still feel that Jim might have had some feelings for Warlock in terms of he saw a lot of himself, or he wanted to help this kid. After Warlock told a little bit of his backstory when the two were in jail about how, life dealt him a crappy deck, and man, it's because I'm black. I don't have all the opportunities you have. And then Jim laid down some truth. And again, even though he's an asshole, he laid down some truth in terms of, if you don't like the cards you've been dealt in life, you know what? Just work at it, do what you can to change things up and make it. And he has a point. I mean, and again, I'm black, but I'm not, using that as an excuse, but things are, put it this way, there are a few more obstacles that I'll have to jump over that a Jim Cryer wouldn't have to jump over. I mean, he did come from, not a have background. He was a have not, but, opportunity struck with Catherine and he took it. And that's how he became, he rose up in the ranks that he did today. That's not to say that Warlock wouldn't be able to do the same, because and again, I find that the delicious irony that, Jim was trying to deal with Warlock in the war room, saying like, hey, she sashays her ass down those stairs. You get me out of this chair and throw her in it, and I'll pay you what, double of what she's paying you. And again, if Warlock took that deal, he would have been a lot better off than, trusting Candace. I feel like things would have been a whole lot smoother if that happened, instead of, the way things went down. And Jim saw that, hey, you're smart, you're a street thug, you're young, but I could tell you're a businessman. And it's just like, he saw the potential in Warlock, just like Candace did. She wanted him to go straight. I mean, and again, if he would have taken those street smarts and business savvy tendencies and put that towards the tow company, I feel like he, Mitch, and Benny could have ran one hell of a company together. Just like if Candace took her, tendencies, blackmail and whatnot, put that energy towards law school, she'd be one of the best lawyers. It's just weird. That's why I feel like Warlock's death, and again, I'll do this in another video, that's why Warlock's death was so empty to me, because again, way too much untapped potential, but his character was written poorly at the end and he got killed off. Now back to Jim, I feel like he was just running his mouth in the finale. I don't think he had anything to do directly with Quincy Jr. being killed. My only thing about him having a hand in it was him getting Warlock out of jail, knowing that he was going to kill Candace, and that's what, eventually led to him finding out where Candace was staying at, thanks to Hannah being followed, and then going into the shootout. Because, he said, like, I was here the entire time. Well, if I'm not mistaken, let's see, instead of being at the hotel, I believe Jim was at the house when those amazingly quiet movers came in by Catherine to take everything. And then that's when he went to the whole hotel eventually, because the house was empty. So pretty much Jim wasn't around. Not to mention, he didn't know where Candace was staying or her family. He was just running his mouth pretty much to kick Candace when she was down, because remember, as I said, even though it looked like he was being an annoying asshole, Candace was doing the same crap after Amanda died when she was going around the Cryer house. So I feel like, Jim was trying to, stick the knife in further, so to speak, on Candace, but Candace wasn't in a good state of mind given the circumstances, so she probably took, Jim's words as truth instead of fiction, because the way he was describing it, it's like, I would have to be on the rooftop, and perfectly shoot so Hannah wasn't shot, but your son was shot. And again, that really made no sense whatsoever to me. The only way a sharpshooter could have done that is if there was a window in the bathroom, because remember, this happened in the hotel bathroom. The motel bathroom. They would have had to shoot perfectly through a closed door and hit Quincy, not Hannah. Or if the bathroom had a window, then I could have seen that coming, but it didn't look like there was a window in the bathroom, or if there was, there would have been like glass on the floor, but there wasn't. All we saw was bullets going through the door. But again, I feel like Jim was just running his mouth. Candace might have taken that as a fact, and those two are going to go at it again based off, the looks they were giving each other. Because again, as Jim said, I don't forget anything, bitch. And it's like, you bastard. And those two are going to go at it again, and then people are going to die most likely. And again, this is bad because remember, Candace has that favor for Mama Rose, and Jim is not one of her favorite people right now. So will she use that favor to finally kill Jim? I don't know. We shall see. But I just wanted to do a quick video regarding my thoughts on, I don't believe Jim planned for Quincy Jr. to get shot. I don't feel like that's the case. So that's just my 2 cents on the situation. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll talk to you in the next video.